Speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we all have. And I'm especially proud and inspired by all the women who have felt strong enough and empowered enough to speak up and share their personal stories.
And welcome to Counsel of the Day with Shanrae, and I am Shanrae. Ooh, this time has gone by very quickly. Give me one moment as I am sharing to my other pages. So if you would just give me one moment, please, as you come in, if you don't mind, announce yourself, like and share, because I'm telling you, tonight is going to be fast, but it's going to be really good. And then I'm going to do something a little different on tonight as we come in. As we end it, I'm going to do something a little bit different on tonight, depending on the demand of the viewers on tonight. So please give me one moment. Let me just finish up what I'm doing, and then I'm going to get started. Let me add this to the stream as I'm talking. Let me do this side by side. Um, uh-oh. All right. All right. So we're going to move this along because I have a very detailed session on tonight with you all. I do want to start out by saying thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being a part of Counsel of the Day with Shanrae this first quarter of 2022. Good evening, Corey. How are you? So good to see you. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, so again, this is an open forum, and you are more than welcome to ask questions, or if you want to give life scenarios or life situations, please feel free to chime in. I will pause, highlight what you're saying, and then we're going to keep it moving. So, okay, I am a degree counselor. Let me move this out of here. So, oops. I am so sorry. I was supposed to kick that out, and it wanted to stay in. I'm a degree counselor, and I'm going to read my short bio for you all, and then we're going to keep it moving. Okay, I'm a degree counselor with a dual bachelor's of science degree in psychology and organizational management from Ashford University. My great passion is bringing healing to people who have been through traumatic and stressful situations, as we all have, because we know that when human beings experience trauma or severe life stressors, it's not uncommon for their lives to unravel. So I help clients who include children, adults, and families to find healthy perceptions of themselves and to strengthen their relationships so they can know themselves as peaceful, complete, whole, and safe. All right, let me read my website disclaimer. I'm going to blow this up. Please be aware that due to the nature of technology I'm using, there can be no assurance of confidentiality when using my online service. It should also be noted that due to changes in policies, that all replies are to be used as advisory and informational only, and will not constitute an official determination. But the overall, I'm moving now. But the final responsibility for successfully achieving a goal rests with you, the individual. Information online is designed to be helpful. However, this information can change, and it does change frequently. So it is recommended that you will consult another physician, specialist, or religious leader to aid you in your overall behavioral wellness. I'm gonna minimize this and move on. All right, so the scripture for this month comes from John chapter 8, verses 32, the English Standard Version. It says, "And you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free." All right, so tonight is speaking your truth, and it is speaking your truth in relationships. Tonight is speaking your truth in relationships. And it looks like, hold on, I'm trying to make sure. I hope this is the right one. Let me. I'm hoping this is the right one that I uploaded. Oh, it is. It is. Okay. Let me recognize you all who are in tonight. Let me recognize you all. Good evening, CJ. How you doing? Good evening, Jamel. How are you? I'm gonna do something different tonight, guys. When I finish this tonight, good evening, Patrinia. We're gonna move over to my counsel today. We're gonna do an intimate room. We're gonna do a room tonight, and I'm gonna continue for like another 20 minutes, so we can feel safe. We're not gonna be online, and we can be in a small chat room ourselves tonight. Immediately after this, I'm gonna drop my counsel today page, and we're gonna click over there, and we're gonna go in there. So if you want to join me. Who's that? CJ, he's so funny. We're gonna move over to there so we can have more of a private, intimate thing tonight. I'm gonna do this final week. Okay. Hey, Cole. All right. So I'm gonna read this and keep it moving. All right. So we know what the definition of truth is in perspective. Let's break down relationship. The definition is the relation connecting or binding participants in relationships such as kinship, a specific instance or type of kinship, a state of affairs existing between those having relations or dealings, or a good relationship with family, or a romantic or passionate relationship. So that's what relationship is, the definition. Let me open this just a little bit. Our key points for tonight is the power of speaking our truth in intimate relationships, truth and intuition, truth, trust, space, love. What speaking your truth is. The truth is a gift. And then, of course, my final thoughts. I'm going to leave you with that. All right. So, the power of speaking your truth. Let's get to it. Now, this finding is by Dr. Marlena Tilhan. And she's a marriage specialist, a marriage therapist. And I'm going to keep looking if y'all have any questions or anything. CJ said, I can't wait. He's so funny. All right. So, the power of speaking our truth in intimate relationships. Okay, so people say that truth is subjective. And really, it does feel like truth is subjective. But people also say that the truth will set you free. We know that's an old saying. The truth is going to set you free. People say many things about truth, but not many really speak their truth. So sadly, this is a huge missed opportunity for radical and authentic self-expressions. Um, and again, chime in, guys, when you want to. But what's worse is that not speaking about our truth stands in the way of having deep and meaningful relationships. We don't realize that by not sharing our truth, that we deprive ourselves of what we most value, which is love. Because you don't have to be in an intimate or a passionate relationship with somebody to love them. There's all kinds of love. And I don't have time to break it down. But when you actually give somebody access to you, when you give someone your time, and then if you feel comfortable enough to sit and to talk with them about something personal with you, your truth, or if you are listening to their truth and they ask your opinion and then you give it to them, a lot of people, they have a lot of defensive barriers up, so they're ready to jump instead of now they if they share the truth with you. A lot of times, that's called a conversation. It's called a conversation. If someone is conversing with you, you're gonna listen, and then if there's something that maybe you need to pinpoint on, or you think that maybe they could have done differently, love, the root of love will, if you're willing to sit there and share something with somebody, and if you share your expression of maybe you could have did this differently, that's still the basic point. Love. You love somebody enough to maybe help them become a better person. All right, so let's start with truth and intuition, because I got a lot going on and it's going to move over. The truth and intuition. Okay. So what Miss Marlena is saying is that she finds truth is reassuring, and it is. It might not always be what I want to hear, but it is always reassuring in the end. She said to her, knowing that truth feels soothing and liberating. She can deal with what it is, but she can't deal with the fear of inducing fragments or figments of her imagination while telling herself that her intuition is off in the hope that she is wrong. And she was saying that we all have intuition for a reason, which we do. Innate wisdom is always within us. So intuition is also called innate wisdom, your inward wisdom. All right. So, and then there's a quote that's here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me blow this up so maybe you can see it better. Albert Einstein says the only real valuable thing is intuition. All right. So let's move this along. I'm trying to see if y'all gonna say something. All right. Okay, now this is still another part of truth and intuition. So realities are constructed by our unique ways of thinking. We all think our own way, and our thinking is framed from our childhood, our upbringing. So there can be one situation, but if there's 6 people involved in it, something I've been talking about all month long, if 6 people is in that same situation, there are going to be 6 different stories because and which are all valid. They're all valid too. Okay, they're all true from their standpoint. Okay, so truth, which is true to that person. The author was saying that she values each truth and values other unique perceptions of what they experience. They love and she loves subjectivity in all of it. It's flowing and it's free. So when we feel that our partner is not being truthful with us, or a close friend of us is not being truthful with us, it can evoke a lot of insecure thinking. Okay, habituated thinking patterns of old attachments. Attachment injuries are definitely going to become awakened. Okay, jealous tendencies can rise to the surface. We might engage in unloving behaviors. Like I'm gonna pause right here. Engaging in unloving behaviors. I was watching. Hi Dee, how are you? I was watching I went to a comedy show and saw Jay, what's his name? His name is Jay something. He's on the Steve Harvey radio show. So he's on with Steve Harvey, with Junior, with Steve Harvey's nephew, Tommy, and then it's him, Jay. So he came here about 3-4 years ago to Atlanta and had a comedy show, and I went. And so he said in the middle of his comedy show, he was like, look, let me just tell you something. The worst thing, he was talking to us women. Let me tell you, the worst thing you could ever do is you and your significant other get into an argument. And he said, this is what happened to him. He said him and his wife were disagreeing. He said, so he came home from work one day. He said the house was smelling so good. She had fried up chicken. She made collard greens, cornbread, and macaroni and cheese. He said he went in the kitchen and that kitchen was spotless clean. He said he found out his wife fried 3 wings, a scoop of greens she made for herself. She said a scoop of macaroni and cheese and 1 corn muffin, and then went and bought. Hey Lisa, how you doing? J. Anthony Brown, that's right, thank you. And bought the fried chicken spray, sprayed it all over the house. He said he was so hurt. He was so hurt with what his wife did. He said, if you want to hurt a man, he said, do something like that. So this is what she's talking about here. Like when we might engage in unloving behaviors. He said, women, I'm telling you, that is one of the worst things you could ever do to a man. Oh, hey, Sandra. And then also, when we feel removed from the truth, a lot of insecure thinking comes up and causes emotional distress. Something just feels off within the relationship, and we're no longer at peace. So, Dr. Manila said that it is usually not so much the content of what's being kept from us, but rather the fact that something is being kept from us, period. And transparency is inherent in truth. It's likely that we can intuit the absence of, like, in order, we know when somebody is lying to us. Hey, Charlotte, how you doing? So let me open this up because I want you to see this next statement. Okay, I don't know if you can see that or not. All right, it says, you know the truth by the way it feels, and that's by an anonymous person right there. Let me move this on. Okay, so now truth. Oh, that went back. Okay, excuse me. I'm sorry. My oh, my PowerPoint just jumped, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, well, hopefully this is it. Let me blow this up a little bit. Okay, it jumped. Okay, I don't know what happened to the other one, but I'm just going to leave that there for the next one. Truth creates space. All right, so the truth does create space. Truth, the truth will set you free. And they say it, and we know that it does. So when we know that our partner or a close friend or a family member is telling us the truth, we feel safer with them. We feel that we know them, and there is safety in our relationship. We might not always like what they tell us, but we do feel reassured by them being courageous and respectful enough to tell us the truth. It makes it easy for us to trust them, right? um and it's liberating for the both of us, and liberating in our relationship. It seems that the more honesty and truth there is in a relationship, the more space that we create. Within the space that we experience true intimacy and connection. And when we can trust our partner, we can be more intimate with them. We really can, and more connected. So when we're in the throes of insecure thinking, when we start to grasp a hold we begin to grasp hold of dear life, it seems like. Let me see who else. Hi, Gina. um Everything tightens and get restricted. We struggle to feel like we having a hard time breathing. And we definitely struggle to love them. Okay, because love does need space. And the truth gives us that. It gives us space. So I'm getting ready to break down the truth, trust, space, and love. I'm getting ready to break that down. So now truth creates trust, guys. So when our friends, family, or partners tell us the truth, it increases our trust in them, their honesty, their integrity, and our relationship. Them telling us the truth keeps our relationship safe and helps, and I feel safer. I mean, and we should feel safer. It keeps, it keeps us safe from insecure thinking. It keeps us safe from accidentally finding out things that have been omitting, that they have been omitting, things that they have been hiding. And hiding undermines trust and emotional safety for both partners. And so, how many of us have been in a relationship with somebody? We find out that they, especially an intimate relationship, you find out somebody else on the outside knows something about your household, or know something about your personal, your private business amongst each other. They know something that you should know, but your partner didn't tell you. They told somebody else. That's a straight breakdown of a relationship right there. Because if you cannot sit down and we focus on what's going on with our relationship, or in our home or something, then what's the use? What's the use? Okay, so the opposite of hiding is honesty. And honesty in relationship is paramount, it's vital. So we all know that trust is essential. And if we want to have a healthy and a loving, D said yes. If we want to have a healthy and a loving relationship, trust is essential. But how can we expect trust when we sometimes the person himself withholds the truth? Or worse, if we're the liar. Okay, so how can we expect our partner to trust us? Because it's not always them. Sometimes it could be you, or it could be me, right? So we do not provide the right conditions for trust in the relationships. When maybe we are not being honest. So if speaking our truth and being honest about who we are is essential in relationships, how can we trust our partners truly and love them when we don't show them all of us? Okay, because it goes both ways. So when we don't speak our truth, again, how can they trust us? And then if they're thinking about us, are they giving us informed information? Are they or anything like that? And they start thinking, I mean, do they really love me? Is this love real? So Again, that dishonesty or hiding the truth in our relationships inevitably undermines any healthy, loving, and respectful um, relationship dynamic from developing. There's no way a healthy relationship will ever develop with any type of lies, hidden things, omissions, or it's just an undermining of the relationship, period. So let's move to truth as contribution. D said, when you do that, but they still lie. The can you write down? Give me because I want to make sure that I answer this correctly. So you saying when you do tell them that their lying is undermining your relationship, is that what you're saying? And you tell them that it's hurting your relationship, but they continue to lie. What is the question? Is that what you're trying to say, D? I'm going to wait for the answer. I'm going to keep going and I'm going to start looking for the answer. All right. Truth as a contribution. When we speak the truth, we share ourselves with our significant others or our friends. Sharing our truths require us opening up and being vulnerable. I know me on a personal level. If I don't really share my personal business with people that are not close to me. But even those that are very close to me, which is I only have a select few people that I open up to, it's still I still feel vulnerable with talking about stuff that pertains to my personal life. But that takes a form of bravery. It takes a form of trust, you know. Okay, so D said yes. So D, if you have expressed this to your significant other or someone that you love about how it makes you feel when they lie to you or they omit information from you and they still continue to do it, um, have you all considered maybe going to a counselor? Like a counselor, go speak with a counselor, and you don't even have to go into the physical doors anymore. They have a lot of teleconferences, or they have like this, they have video conferences. And is the person open to it? And if they're not open to it, D, then I still encourage you to go and speak to a counselor to hash out certain things, because then it's certain things that will help you make certain decisions with who you're dealing with. I don't know if it's a child, if it's a spouse, a parent, a sibling, I don't know. But there are certain strategies and to help you make decisions on how to kind of still love, but maybe love from a distance with that person, because it takes two, especially when it's in a relationship. It takes two people to work 100%. And one person working 100% and the other person is just giving you maybe 10%, it is what it is. You know, they don't want to. So I moved on. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. I like that decision. How do you feel now, D? How do you feel now that you moved on? If you don't mind sharing. How do you feel? I'm gonna move on while you're typing. She said exactly. D said exactly. So this is where real connections happen, when we're vulnerable and we open up to people. When we share parts of us, when we allow our partners to see all of us, when we give of ourselves, that's our contribution to them. That's called love. The underlying thing is called love. When you contribute yourself, again, giving 100% of yourself to your friend, your partner, your spouse, or however, like that. This is where you know things can be received from each other. This is where acceptance comes in. This is where love strengthens and comes in. Love for who I am and for who they are. You know, when you're open and you show your vulnerability. This is where we dealing with whatever, because nobody is 100% perfect. D said blessed because they was stopping at my blessings. Ooh, I'm so glad you recognize that. Ooh, I am so glad you recognize, because a lot of times, let me go back. A lot of times that's what happens when people, when you're giving your time and your energy and your space to someone that is kind of like, you can't be 100% of yourself. You're not very productive because your mind is boggled down, your emotions are out of sync, and like you said, and certain things sometimes it affects your the advancement in your life because everything is so stressed and weighed down on you. And you're right. Now I'm so glad to hear that you are blessed, that you realized you wasn't going to be blessed when you was partnered with that. So I'm so happy you shared that. Thank you, D. All right, truth requires action. Truth. So we're social animals, and as such, we communicate verbally and non-verbally. So this is where our intuition comes in. Very often, things don't have to be said outright. Some things we just know, and sometimes we wish that we didn't know, because once we know, we can no longer deny the truth. Okay, and the truth requires action. Let me move this on because there's something here that I would like y'all to see. Okay. Um, what is it? We cannot force others to tell us their truth. All right. Let me go back to this. Let me minimize this. Excuse me. I'm going to minimize this. There's Marlena Tilhan, our person our theorist. She says truth allows us to deal with whatever is going on. The truth allows us to deal with that. D said, "You're welcome." All right, so there might be truths that we don't want to own up to, truths that we might feel ashamed of, but we still need to own those truths nevertheless. They're still our truths. And if we don't own them, they won't own us. So we must be willing to face the consequences of our actions and inactions, our discretions and our indiscretions. Let me see. Just because some truths might be less desirable than other truths, it does not mean that we can deny them. That would just be full-blown denial, and there is no love in that. Let me keep reading. Denial leaves us inert, passive, and inactive. There's no motion in denial, there's no movement, and there's no change. I'm gonna go back to what D just said. Dee recognized she was missing blessings when she was in a relationship with somebody that wasn't truthful. That This is what Dr. Tilhan just said right here. There's no motion in denial, no movement, and no change. Life is permanent change. Living in denial goes against the natural flow of life. All right, so it stops us from taking action. It stops our growth. Denial is just hiding something from ourselves, and denial is still considered lying. All right, so being honest with ourselves, facing our truth, and expressing it is the end of procrastination and avoidance. We will return to the natural flow of life and will continue to grow if we don't live in denial. So now we're what speaking our truth is. Let me speaking our truth is, and okay, this is my whole PowerPoint just jacked up. Speaking our truth again is courageous. All right. Z said exactly. Speaking our truth is courageous. It's an act of bravery to allow ourselves again to be vulnerable. And vulnerability is a big part of life. If you think about any big business mogul out there, they're putting themselves in a vulnerable state when they start a new venture, a new business venture. They don't know if if that business venture gonna take off or is it gonna flop. So you're putting yourself in a vulnerable state. So vulnerability is a period. Okay, it's not nothing that's just random and out of sorts. So it takes special courage to allow someone else in to witness our vulnerability. We can only open up to our own vulnerability when we have dealt with our own shame. Everybody has experienced shame, guys. Everybody. Most people are too afraid to even do that. Sadly, this is the biggest barrier in intimacy and love by speaking our truth. And we choose courage and love instead of shame. So now speaking your truth is respectful. All right, speaking your truth is respectful. So it's respectful to give our partner. Jamal says, speaking your truth. Exactly. It's respectful to give our partner all the information there is and then let them decide for themselves how they feel about us and whether they want to be in a relationship with us. I'm going to go right on back to D. D made the decision she was not going to be in a relationship anymore with someone who was untruthful. Okay. Okay. And we're respecting their autonomy and their own individual desires by speaking our truth. We choose to respect and love instead of manipulation. So, in other words, when we're speaking truth, we're speaking truth shows love. It shows love that you love in a relationship instead of manipulation. Sandra said, "Praise God." All right, we're choosing to respect and to love our significant other rather than manipulate them. So speaking our truth is now liberating. Lies weigh us down. Omissions burden us. The truth is liberating because we let the chips fall. Okay, we stop manipulating and controlling and open up to a new experience. It is one of a freedom. We finally allow for what is to exist without struggle, denial, or resistance. Okay, we finally allow for what is, I'm sorry, by speaking our truth, we choose freedom and love instead of control. All right, now speaking your truth is loving. When we speak our truth, we allow someone else to hear us. We allow them to know us and to choose to trust us. We make it possible for our partner to feel safe enough to open up to and to connect with us. Telling the truth makes ultimate intimacy possible. All right. And when we speak our truth, we choose intimacy and love instead of inhibition. All right. Which is inhibition is still, you're still hiding. You're hiding. Now, speaking your truth is enhancing. We make somebody else feel special to us by sharing our truth with them. All right. We create a special bond that enhances the connection we feel with them. We share something unique between the two of us. And by doing so, we communicate to them how much we value them and how much they mean to us. And by speaking our truth, we choose significance and love instead of inhibition or hiding. Um, Now, speaking your truth is transformative. All right. Once we step into our truth and own our experience, everything changes. We stop blaming people. Okay. We stop prosecuting people. We stop chasing people. Instead, we start to open up to life by stepping out of the confines of our intellect. And we become more understanding, more compassionate, and more loving. All right. We change and we impact positively on those people around us. So by speaking our truth, we choose growth and love instead of stagnation. Now, for the last and final thing, truth is a gift. Truth is a gift. We cannot force others to tell us their truth. Let me open this up. All right, truth is a gift. We can't force other people to open up to us and tell us their truth. We can only choose for ourselves whether to share ours and who to share it with. So when we're with someone, and let me go back to this. When we are with someone who is as willing as we are to share their truth, miracles begin to happen in your relationship. D said, is there a such thing as speaking too much truth? I think it depends on the situation. I don't believe that speaking too much truth. No, I do think that maybe sometimes you have to speak truth in parts. In parts. Give the person enough time to process what's going on. So you hit one, make kind of break it up some. Break it up to truth number one, part A, B, C, D, E. Then choose when you're going to continue to finish telling the person that truth. But I don't think that You can't speak too much truth. I just think that you have to choose when and how you're going to speak that truth. But that was a good question. Jamal said segments. Exactly. Let's do it in segments. To be continued. To be continued. We'll meet back here next Monday night. D says some people will hold your truth over your head. Okay, and if they do that, then that's not love. What that is manipulation. And so if they choose to use that as a manipulation tool, then then you have to make a decision. Now, again, I don't know what the situation may be, because if the person has been deeply hurt by the truth or something like that, they need to know the truth. But the fact of the matter is, they're still trying to wrap their mind around, maybe, I love this person. I really don't want to lose them. I may not want to be separated from them, but I can't wrap my mind around why this was done or what happened. And once again, is this ever going to happen again? Am I stupid for staying here? And I'm saying it in layman's terms, because nobody's stupid. Nobody's stupid. But, these are the thoughts that run through people's head. Am I stupid for still, rocking with this person? I'm speaking in layman's terms, not professional terms right now. Okay. And these are all of the insecurities. And when somebody is feeling major insecurities, that's when that manipulation and anger starts to come out. So sometimes you do have to separate and take a break, or take a beat and maybe return another time. Give it some time. It don't mean that they totally hate you. It just means that they really hated what was told to them. So, I don't know the full situation, so I can't just blatant out and say, yeah, no, because different is different. Like the old saying, different strokes for different folks is different situations, So, but I do strongly believe that any situation can be solvable outside of criminal. Okay, I hope y'all got that. Outside of criminal, something criminal, it's gonna be solvable, but it's gonna be solvable the right way, in the court of law. That way, So some people can't handle the truth. You have to love them from a distance. Jamal said you have to love them from a distance. D said some people can't handle the truth. A lot of people can't handle the truth, D, but that don't mean we shouldn't tell it to them. That a lot of people cannot. She laughed. Most people can't handle the truth, but it don't mean that we don't tell. We should tell them. You got it. Look, free them and free yourself. Tell them the truth. I'm gonna open this up. This is my final thought, and then I'm gonna wait a minute. Y'all hold on, because I'm getting ready to open up a group, a chat. And those that want to move over to the private, we're going to be on there for about another 20 minutes. Then we're going to move over to a private sector where we can talk. Okay? We can talk there. Okay, let me open this up. My takeaway says the truth is a gift to others, but mainly to ourselves. So when we step into our truth and begin to open up, we start to become honest with ourselves. We get to reevaluate past choices. We get to make changes. We get to have a completely different experience without necessarily having to change much of the outside. We allow ourselves a much fuller and much freer experience, and one that transforms us in such a way that it touches others too. Let me minimize this. And what is most beautiful is that it depends on one thing alone, one thing that is fully in our control and nobody else's: our willingness to speak our own truth. Y'all give me 1 minute. Because I want to drop this in here really quickly. Y'all can see me, I can't see you. So give me 1 minute, guys. I want to try something. This is my first time ever trying this, but I think we need to move this along. And let me go to my Counsel the Day page. I don't know. Dude, can y'all still see me? Are you on? Can you still see me? Okay, guys, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Room. Okay, room. Create a room. I'm getting ready to drop this in. Give me 1 minute, guys. Okay, create a room that's only visible. Okay, that's good. All right, and I'm going to put this in here so we can move on. All right, room. Oh, I guess I had to post it. I don't know how. Guys, this is my first time doing this. Oh, okay. Let me copy this. Link copy. All right. Guys, I'm dropping this in here now. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see that I just put that link in there? Hi, Gwen. How are you? Okay. Guys, I just put a link, I think. I think I just put that link in there. Give me 1 minute. Let me do something. Did the link show up in there? Can y'all see the link, guys? Oh, you don't see it. Oh, shucks. Guys, give me 1 moment. And then we're gonna move over to that. Let me get this link real quick. Wow. Nope. Group. Nope. All right. So I'm gonna put it in this. Okay, link. Let's open this. Oh, shucks. Copied link. Okay. And then we're gonna move right over to this, guys. My first time ever doing this. Please forgive me for the delay. Okay, I just put the link in. If y'all want to meet me over to my Counsel of the Day with Shanrae page, we're gonna be there. So let me end this really quickly. All right. That's my website references. If y'all have missed any if you want to go and revisit any of my past sessions, you can go to my YouTube channel at Shanrae Price. Go on, open it up, and look at any of those past sessions. Like and share and subscribe, please subscribe. All right. I am a professional one-on-one counselor. If you're interested in professional one-on-one counseling services, feel free to contact me via Facebook Messenger at Shanrae Price or via my email at shanrae@gmail.com. I'm a lifestyle strategist, and my aim is to aid you in your life's goals and your life's dreams. I'm going to open this up because I want to thank you all so much for participating in Counsel of the Day with Shanrae February 2022. All righty then, this has been part 1 of our final week 4. I will see y'all. Those that don't meet me over into the private room, I'll see you Thursday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Okay, but those that want to continue and talk privately, and we can go back and forth, meet me in the chat room right now. Good night, everybody. Good night.